Great, 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 great. I can see the ambassadors. Yeah, great. All right. Um, so yeah, I'll go ahead and um so just doubling back on, you know, how to use technology to push advocacy. And I trickled it down to talking about storytelling. Storytelling is the most powerful tool that I think humanity has ever created. It changes everything. And a good storyteller would always, get people to or get the attention of people. And just a quick example here. And I'm just going to ask this in the chat. How many of you use YouTube, the unpaid one? Just a show of hand. Just a show of hand. I just want to test something out here. How many of you, when you're using YouTube, an ad comes up of some sort? Just a show of hand. Can be a thumbs up. I hope I'm right. I hope everyone is with me. Okay. Olamide says no. Olamide is like me. Yeah. The ads can be frustrating. I know. Yeah. So there are times that I use the paid YouTube, so I don't get to see ads. But there are times that I would want to uh, maybe I'm not using my account, or I need to use someone else's YouTube account. But I do remember a time when I was trying to look for something on YouTube and I had to open like incognito mode, and because I didn't want it to affect my algorithm. That's conversation for another day. There's certain things I don't like to search on my personal YouTube account so that it doesn't disorganize what I've already arranged. But so I had to use incognito so that it doesn't pick up the data records and put it in my YouTube. So when you're doing that, it means I don't sign in as with my account. So that means I'm just searching YouTube on a free level. So that ad pops up, and the ad that pops up it's a UN ad. Um, and I don't know if you know this actor. There's this actor that was in this movie called Taken. He has this very deep voice and stuff, and he was the one sitting in front of that video. And he was, if you know that actor, he has a very convincing voice, and he was speaking about a current health problem happening, I think somewhere around East Africa or so thereabouts. And I couldn't skip the ad because YouTube made sure that we couldn't skip the ad. We had to watch it. And just sitting down listening to him, the way he was telling a story, and within that short, you know, seconds or minute that he spoke, and brought awareness to the current health challenges happening in that country, and how UN need people to support and the likes. Just that short period, it gets you. And I found myself moving from what I was searching for, to going to actually check and say, okay, I didn't know this was actually happening. And I had to go and search, and I found myself, before I knew it, I had over maybe 10 tabs, just jumping from one place to another. And that it's always typical for me because of the space I play in. So my work is very human centered. So anything that has, requires some sort of, human advocacy, and I'm there. So what am I saying here? That storytelling is so powerful that it grips you. And TikTok has that ability. We have a lot of people who, sit on TikTok, from morning till night. I don't know how people do that, but TikTok is one very interesting. It's just videos. I don't know how to do that, but I commend people who are able to do that. But imagine you're able to create a very powerful story, and someone who is scrolling on TikTok sees it. You need to grab them to the point that the person is like, okay, what's going on here? And you need to bring that attention. There are people who have learned the art of doing this, And I would say that you might not get in on the first day, but as you do it over time, you get to understand, how to use storytelling to bring together, some of these things that you see. We've seen people use, like I said, storytellers have used TikTok, used Instagram, and they brought awareness of, gender-based violence, healthcare challenges out there. Formed, personal pain into public advocacy. And this is very simple way to say, how technology amplifies, the story. The story, mobilizes the people. And, one very strong thing to understand is that the power of the people is greater than the power of the people in power. Let me take that again. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. And we've seen that not only have most of us experienced, we've seen that, and it's still happening globally on a global scale. And I wanted to see technology from a place that how do I use technology? How do I, infuse storytelling technology? Because what technology does is it helps you scalability. That's what it does. It amplifies it more. Then you could be advocating for something in a particular place and it doesn't go beyond. I mean, back in the days, people would need to hear about something happening in a particular place. The local news network will have to carry it before it gets to where it needs to go, before it gets here, before it blows. Newspaper has to. But technology has changed that. On the get-go, we are seeing it happening. I mean, now I have technologies that does live. I know that this is not new to you, but you need to. What are the opportunities? You're looking at it and say, what can I do? I mean, this amount of hours I'm using on internet, I can really do good things. I can really do good things. I met a young lady earlier this year, and she talked about how someone posted, about stray dogs in Lagos, and she's wondering, saying that why don't we try to help her? Why don't you start picking up stray dogs around Lagos and start helping, taking them to like an animal shelter? She was not asking, are there even animal shelters, in Lagos and stuff? And this is just me, just rounding up now and just saying that, advocacy, how an advocacy initiates transformation. It's really easy. I mean, we've seen it over time. Advocacy sets everything in motion. When issues rise, you have to be clear and loud about it. And when you do that, people begin to explore it more deeply. People start asking questions. People begin to engage. And engagement also comes with insights, comes with data, it comes with lived experiences as well. And all this, these things I've mentioned, they form the intelligence that is needed for you to design and these solutions that you're thinking of, whether it's storytelling, whether it's through some sort of gamified methods or whatever, however you want to go through it. And just to say that, because it doesn't just solve the problem, but it begins the journey that leads to impact. And I know that we have speakers here who are going to even talk about a bit more about engagement and impact and the likes. But I'm going to end with this. One thing I'm going to let you know, or one thing you need to understand, is that it is, if your voice, or how do I put this? If your voice is not heard, I want you to raise it. And if your steps are not seen, you need to march, louder, because Africa, is coming to a point where the changes that need to happen, the children of Africa need to no longer be silent about it. So yeah, I would end there and say thank you so much. I know they were pressed for time, but I mean, you can always look me up and please reach out to me if you're looking for more advice on what you need to do and how you need to integrate, or if you're having some challenges. I'm always, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and we can talk. Just let me know that you're coming from Tech for Good Africa, or I mean, just go through Sam or Olamide here, and I mean, we can take it from there. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you for the patience as well.
Thank you so much, Ferdinand. And, it's so powerful that you mentioned gamified methods, storytelling. It was just one person, this pastor, that uploaded on Instagram around the killings happening in Nigeria. And that was how it got to Donald Trump. And now we have a national situation of intervention going on. So, like Ferdinand has said, if your voice is not being heard, raise it. If your steps are not being seen, then march even more intently. And thank you so, so much for that. So we'll go really quickly now to having Ubio Obu. He has an expertise in intelligence in digital. He's the CEO of RemoStart, an AI and blockchain researcher. His academic background is in artificial intelligence. Ubio has about 5 years of experience in researching. His research works have cut across different fields, from AI to IoT, agriculture, environment, blockchain, HR, human behaviors, etc. Ubio currently has about 7 research paper publications in reputable journals like the American Institute of Physics and IEEE. He has 2 patents that cut across the use of AI and IoT under application, and a copyright on a book titled Research Writing for Beginners. I think I might be taking you up on that one myself. At RemoStart, Ubio is not just the CEO, but the AI team lead, leading the innovation and integration of AI in RemoStart and companies under them. He's in the Deep Funding Dev Outreach Coordinator and a member of the Deep Funding Group. Ubio currently sits at the Intersect Constitutional Council, where it contributes to the constitutionality of governance actions. Ubio is a Microsoft Winsider recipient, KCTIL Leadership Fellow, and a Singularity Net ambassador. Let us give him a warm welcome and our favorite emojis as we make welcome Ubio. Ubio, we've had conversations in the last 6 weeks. Just in another 10 minutes or 15, how can we really move the needle on transformation? We've heard that, okay, yes, we can leverage the power of storytelling. How do we bring this intelligence into our digital space without it taking over? Because recently I read that an AI did a cyber attack, and also self-destructed itself. So it was an entire cyber war. But how do we do this for good? Over to you, Ubio.
Yeah, thank you so much. And once again, I want to start by saying a big congratulations to all the ambassadors that we do have in the house. As an ambassador, I believe we are here because we believe in the power to foster technology for good. So the conversation around intelligence and how intelligence can be used for good draws a lot of parallel to me. Going through human history, okay, let's go through biological evolution, right? When we go through biological evolution, what separates humans from every other animal in the kingdom is our intelligence. And so we are called Homo sapiens because we are the Homo that has sapienity. Sapienity is speaks to our human sentienity and our human intelligence. So intelligence, humans are not the most powerful beings in the animal kingdom. In fact, we are among one of the weakest. We are not this. We are not the fastest. We are not the most. What do I put it? Like whatever metrics you want to go to put man or humans against, you realize that humans are not necessarily the best in those areas. But we are at the top of the echelon of the animal evolution, and that owes primarily to our intelligence. I'm saying this as a precursor to establish a fact that intelligence is more important than any other skill, more than power, more than strength. The intelligent creature will always get to the top of its career, top of its echelon, irrespective. But intelligence also puts moral responsibility on that which is intelligent. We do not expect moral engagement when we engage, for example, with other homo, so we have Homo erectus, other homos, right? We don't necessarily expect intelligence from these creatures because they are not just intelligent. And because they are not just intelligent, we do not attach any moral responsibility to them. You can't go in and question why did the snake bite you, because it doesn't have intelligence to understand good from bad. You can't also question why a dog bites a person or why the dog is barking in the middle of the night, right? Because it is expected that they have a lower intelligence than us. As such, they might not be able to understand why barking by 12 a.m. today was good, but barking the same 12 a.m. the next day is not good. Intelligence. The point I'm trying to establish with all of these precedents is to establish the fact that intelligence comes with a moral responsibility. And in an age of intelligence as we are right now, one of the things that comes with the fact that we are in an era of intelligence is also the greater good and the greater responsibility that it lays on us actively or passively. That's to say, whether you actively know about it or not, it doesn't change the fact that it does add these responsibilities to you. Right. So, having understood that with higher level of intelligence comes higher level of moral responsibility requirement from us, it pushes us to the second facet of our discussion: how we can utilize intelligence for good, and how intelligence can become a resource or a tool for good. One, how do we synthesize intelligence for good? I would say that the very first point starts from our ability to realize that technology in itself is never inherently good or bad. So I've heard people have conversations about is AI here to take our jobs? Is AI going to one day turn against humanity? Whenever I do hear these questions, it saddens me because it reminds me of the history of technology in itself. In Tech for Good, we talk about the whole E equal to MC square, square, right? MCQ, right? How is that? E equal to MC
E equals to MDQ.
MDQ, all right, but I think so the primary formula, where that is actually adopted from is from Einstein law, which is equal to mc squared, right? And then with a q at the end of it. And the point I was trying to go with that narrative is that when Einstein came up with the E equal to mc squared q formula, it's called the almighty formula, the E equal to mc squared. He wasn't thinking that this understanding of energy and matter and speed of light and all of this could actually become a force for evil, because it was never meant to be for evil. In fact, he won a Nobel Prize for that. He won, and even Marie Curie, that is actually credited for the nuclear breakthrough, also won Nobel Prizes for this. So the intent of technology has never been evil. The problem of technology has always been us. So can artificial intelligence become a force for evil? Obviously true. Can this new level of intelligence that humanity is breaking and trying to tap into through the use of artificial intelligence? We have two types of intelligence, or there are a lot of other types of intelligence. We have the human intelligence, the biological intelligence, and then we have the artificial intelligence. So imagine man having intelligence and now having access to artificial intelligence. So man becomes a super intelligent creature because you have access to intelligence. I'm going to come back to repeat this on point 2, the super intelligent creature, right? To establish a fact. But the first point I'm coming before we talk about the super intelligent creature is that we first need to have people who are inherently for good. People who believe in using technology for good. People whose primordial intent of technology is good. When this is the case, when AI gets into the hands of these people, what happens is that it becomes a tool for good and not a tool to disenfranchise or a tool to actually kill ourselves or cause evil to humanity. So the problem has always been man. The nuclear weapon that was used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki was man. The problem was not with the technology of nuclear, because that same technology powers high rail technologies, powers energy, has powered cities, has powered economies. So in itself, that technology is not bad. The reason why you and I are having this conversation about the efficacy of artificial intelligence and its potential to be for bad is because humanity inherently, historically, have a propensity to use technology for evil rather than for good. So this is us just saying, in reality, that we know we are scared of ourselves. We are not scared of artificial intelligence. We are scared of ourselves. Who is going to write the bug that is going to be put inside the AI for it to be able to self-destruct and change the world? Is you and I. This is why the right orientation for technology is extremely important. And kudos to Tech for Good for what you guys are doing in trying to lay emphasis and trying to let people understand that when you get into technology, and in this time around, we're talking specifically about the use of artificial intelligence, whether you are the one developing or you're just utilizing it, that your mindset should be, how do I use this for good? How does this solve real problems? How do I use it to solve problems within my locality? I used to say that technology is just like water. It's neither bad, it's neither dirty, it's neither this. Whatever we're going to put inside the water, it takes the shape of that. So, who are you? That's the first question we need to ask ourselves as we're talking about intelligence for good, right? Who are you? Are you actually a good person? A good person uses intelligence for good. A bad person uses intelligence for bad. The second point, as I'll be wrapping up, the emergence of the super intelligent man. and the effect of this to the future of the world. Sorry, I think it will be up in 1 minute. But you guys can hear me, right? All right, yeah, it's back. Okay, just to confirm, I'm still on track. Awesome, thank you. So, the super intelligent man and the emergence of the emergence of super intelligent men and its implication for the future of the world. They say that evolution has stopped. The study of artificial intelligence allows us to do a lot of biological intelligence. So we study biological intelligence, we study philosophy, we study psychology, because the field actually wraps into all of this. So the field, so there is a field of natural intelligence, there's a field of biological intelligence, and there's a lot of these. So we study intelligence wherever we find intelligence for us to be able to understand artificial intelligence, right? But I'm going somewhere. So historically, man evolved from unicellular beings to multicellular beings. From multicellular beings, we now had how are this thing called? And then the evolution continues until we now have well, we had the mammals. From mammals, we now have the apes, and from apes, we now have the evolution from apes to this thing. We now have from apes, we now have humans, right? Already established that at the beginning of that. And so the question always remains, so after this, what do we evolve into? But within our eyes, humanity is evolving, but we are not realizing what we are evolving into. And I'm here to tell you that we are evolving into super intelligent creatures. And you and I today are much more intelligent than we were 5 years ago. This evolution is the combination of man and technology. This symbiotic relationship between humans and technology has always existed. But the past 70 years of human evolution or human civilization has brought us to a point where we are not just, where we are merging between this, become a merge between technology and humans. Before now, we used machines. We now evolved to the point where we now live with machines, and to a point where machines became part and parcel of our life, and now we can't do without machines. That's a new form of evolution happening within our eyes. So what I call the evolution of the super intelligent man. Now, what happens with the super intelligent man? So follow me through. We had us using tractors. And then, so every time you needed to use, so when we were using tractors, for example, was man dependent on machine. Then we evolved to a point where we now started having cars. We moved in, and then we now started having laptop, desktop. It was still, this is the machine and this is us. With the desktop and all those stuff, we spent a lot of time with these machines. Now something else happened. We now moved to another phase where we now started having these personal machines, right? The laptops and everything. So it now came home. Machines came home. What has happened now, and then before we know, we now had phones. What happened? Phones were now on your pocket. Now there's a constant merging of technology and humanity. So human plus technology, that's what has been happening. And that's why we need to understand why Tech for Good is extremely important for us as a conversation. Because a lot of people don't understand that we are not the creatures that we were 100 years ago. If you bring up the Homo sapien of 100 years ago and bring him today, the person here is a total different person from the person that existed 100 years ago. This man is a man dependent on machine. No, not just dependent on machine. He lives with machine. We now, machines have become part and parcel of our civilization. So Alexa, on this. Alexa, of this. Jarvis, do this. And then now we have what's this called? This one that Optimus that Elon Musk is doing. So you see what has suddenly happened? Even our socialization has changed. We now socialize through a medium. Now, all of this is to open you up to why we need to use tech for good, because technology has submerged into us. We are no more using technology. Technology is now us. We live with it. As I'm talking to you now, I can talk to you through a technology, through Zoom, through this thing. So this is a new creature. The man that exists today, the Homo sapien, is a much more super intelligent sapien, the sentiency is more super than it was 100 years ago. It's happening. Evolution is happening, but not the way we expected. We expected that man will probably evolve into something much more different. But here is the evolution. The next phase of evolution is man merging with technology. And so with the advent of artificial intelligence, it has gotten worse. Our dependency on intelligence has over increased, right? We are now much more intelligent than we were. We get things done in less than 3 minutes because now we are not just doing those things, we are doing it through the aid of AIs. With this super intelligent, it means that there's, again, remember the starting point, there is a much more greater there's a much more greater moral responsibility than it was for us even 50, 30 years, even 20 years ago, because we are now even much more super intelligent. But the second part of it is where we're going to be ending. It's a reminder of how dangerous we have now become. We are not just intelligent creatures, guys. Intelligent creatures are extremely dangerous. But man is now a super intelligent creature. It means that the capacity for evil is on an exponential level, right? It also means that the capacity to do good must also increase at an exponential level for us to be able to catch up with the evil that is about to spread in. Because man is now a much more super intelligent creature. We've evolved. We are no more whom we were some years ago. Thank you, guys.
Yes, so much for that session. Anyone else feels like you just stepped out of an EVO 105 session on evolution of man and the world of intelligence, and spoken like a true researcher at his core. And again, it's a wake-up call to each and every one of us. It puts the responsibility back in our hands. And another thing even from that is, systems don't attack systems, men attack men. So I don't imagine that the AI that did the cyber attack a few days ago just activated itself by itself. There's a human brain, that must have machined that. And if we must make a truly remarkable difference, then we have to do better as humans. We have to ensure that we are directing the intelligence as we so desire. So I've also been given a very, I would put it, humbling task this evening to share the president's session with us. I must already from now share also that we can expect that he might quite not have his nuances. But what I will do is do my best to represent him the way he must have done it today. So I bring you greetings from
I'm here. I'm here. I'm happy to take this.
Yes, thank you, Jesus. Over to you, sir. So let me welcome my leader, mentor, and the founder of Tech for Good Africa. We are gathered here today because of one man's vision, who continues to extend that. Currently, I know he's tucked between his work of driving impact at the IIF, and also taking on Echo Africa, really building the economic platform of the future, which now has come, and also leading us here at Tech for Good Africa. So, with all the joy in our hearts, I see the emojis already. Let's keep it coming. Let's make welcome Samuel Efosa Austin, President and Founder, Tech for Good Africa, RC. So over to you, sir. It's a joy to have you.
Thank you so much, Lamide. I think you should start looking into a opportunity of jobs in MCing. You're doing a very good job with the MCing there. That was really fun to introduce me so much that way. I'm sure the other speakers before myself have done something awesome and great here today. And I just wanted to wrap this up for all the young people and mid generation, older generation, all of you guys that become an ambassador. And this program for us was sort of a test case. It was sort of a we wanted to test out how do we start recruiting ambassadors into Tech for Good Africa, but it was also very tiring for the internal team because we had to do about 6 to 7 weeks of just onboarding each week for everybody. But at the same time, we also learned a lot about how we're going to do it moving forward. So maybe the ambassador onboarding will become shorter and we can start getting more ambassadors in faster. But we wanted to see how comprehensive we could make it. But it was so comprehensive that we saw speakers, not even just today, speakers from each session, two speakers. Just think about it that from that session, we literally did, we've done 6 sessions, and from each 6 sessions, we had two speakers each, and that's 12 speakers. That means we have 12 people in our faculty. And so we're so excited about that. And so we're going to even do more, but maybe even make it shorter for each and every one of you guys. But I wanted to end today with just empowering you guys. And trust me, after today, you'll get an email from the Tech for Good Africa team about how your onboarding is going to go even further into getting your badge, into moving from getting your badge now to even doing more work, right? Because you can't just join the community without doing more work. We need more work in Africa's future. So I just want to confirm, can everybody see my screen? Just want to confirm if you can see my screen. Can you all see my screen? Okay, thank you, Ugochi. Number one, community participator. I just love the way Ugochi is always ready to participate. Okay, so please don't mind my background if you hear any sort of noise or something going on. I'm really trying to bring my hands down. I don't know where the screen is to bring my hands down, but you know what? I'll leave my hands up because my hands are always up. All right, cool. Let me just jump right into this here. Trying to move this away from my screen. Okay, all right. Well, give me a second. I have to have my notes. So I don't teach you guys something I did not put together properly. Let me just get my notes here. And whoever knows me, transparent leader, very passionate about being transparent about the process that's been taken to become whatever it is I'm becoming, but also transparency enough for you all to also emulate that sort of character wherever you go, to be able to be transparent as you go on with things. So again, one of the things of why I decided to speak about digital economy today as Africa's future is because we need to set the tone. And the tone here is to try and position each and every one of you as ambassador, as you're entering into this Africa's new economy frontier, emphasize why you're entering into this arena and where Africa's next 20 years would be, and how you will be part of that deciding our next 20 years. If you have ever read it, there's the African 2063 plan. And if you've not read that, please, I encourage you to read it. And just, if you say you want to fix the economy of Africa, if you say you want to be part of the change for Africa, if you have not read Africa 2063 plan, then stop talking to me. You are just making noise and you're not really focused on what we are all together trying to do. And it's very important that we're always following a framework so that we can all get to somewhere. If you're a Christian, you know that we're following the framework of Jesus as our background for a setting to be able to make it to heaven and continue the process of spending time with our God, the creator of heaven and earth, the one that created us. So there's always a standardization or a metrics that you can all use to get there. So I want you to make sure that you're looking into that, but I wanted to set that at arena that Tech for Good Africa has this mission of being there for the next 20 years. I think in that time, I'll be about 50 something years old. So maybe I'll be passing it on to my children or passing it on to the young generation, whoever they are, to say, carry on Tech for Good Africa. I've done 20 years. It's been fun. But you as ambassadors, as well as you join me on here, you're joining me to carry on that next 20 years as well. So let's move forward. So what is digital economy? What is digital economy? Right now, the economy we have is a traditional economy. It doesn't work for us in Africa. No joke. It doesn't work even as a thing. Exactly. We're all on our phones now. We're all, using different things to everything is online. Everything is online. Everything is touch screen. Everything is payments through touch on the card, infuse your card. Back then, you have to have cash. You have to count it, even if it was millions. But now you can just do transfer on your phone, type somebody's number, and it's all done. So digital economy is a shift from this physical productivity, whether it's factory machines, to a digital productivity, software, platforms, analytical, and now we're even seeing AI. And what that means is that we're seeing a digital economy, and this digital economy is built on 3 legs. I always call these 3 legs a human body. The technology is the bones of the body, the structure, which is the computing power, the cloud, mobile phones. Physical structure is like a bone. Connectivity is like the cells and the muscles in the body. So your broadband is keeping the muscles, the computing and mobile phone standing, your mobile network, MTN and the rest of them, your satellites like Elon Musk, Starlink and so on and so forth, or just storing data or moving data around. It's like the veins and the muscle of the body. And then we go to data, and data is literally the blood of a human body. So every interaction, behavior, and transaction. So as it goes to your brain, if your blood sends things to your brain, that's what you'll be doing. If your blood is not sending something properly to your brain, it won't be working properly. So the digital economy works on these 3 structures: technology, connectivity, and data. And whenever you're thinking about it or trying to remember it, you remember it from a place of it's like a human body. The technology is the bone, connectivity is the muscles and the veins, and then the data is the blood that moves through the body. And literally, that's how you're functioning. The rest of it is God that will breathe his air upon us for the digital economy. So I want you to just take something key today, is that digital economy is not about gadgets. It's not about how much computer you have or how much phones you have, whether you got the latest iPhone 17 or latest iPhone 16. It is new models of value creation. How do we create value from these technology systems we're seeing, the connectivity that is happening, and the data that is happening, because it is the new economy. I'll give you examples that exist. Uber has no cars, right? But it is digitalizing coordination of cars. It has no cars. It's fascinating. I'm saying this thing. It has no cars, but it's coordinating cars. Another one is Flutterwave. Flutterwave has no bank branches. There's no Zenith Bank branch that you need to go to, but it's doing digital payments. Another one is YouTube. YouTube has no TV station anywhere where you have cameras and things, but it has digitalized media, and media is doing great things with YouTube. They even pay you money. So if you have over 1 million views, YouTube will pay you $3,000. I don't know if anybody knows that, but 1 million views is $3,000. So again, as I said, it's not about the gadgets. It's really about value creation. Guys, just stick with me. We're onto something here. So how this evolution happened? What has happened that has gotten us here? In 1990, which is the year I was born. So actually, I think that digitalization started because I was born on the earth. And that's why I'm here telling you that I want to change the economy of Africa. The year that I was born, digitization happened. Digitization started. That means we started to change documents, music, photos, everything started to become digital. In the year 2000, so it took them another 10 years. They waited for me. They waited till I was 11 years old. They're like, when he was 11 years old now, we'll bring about emails. And so emails replaced all the letters, all the e-commerce, and replaced even shops. So by the time I was 11 years old, they were expecting that I would start working for maybe Adobe to help them with Magento to be able to create e-commerce and replace email. Yahoo was even looking for me, but because I was in Nigeria, they couldn't find me. That's a joke, guys. Just taking you on the journey of this evolution that's happened, because I've been evolutionarily moving with them, but they did not know where I was. Just telling you guys, true talk. But then after that, we've moved another 10 years. We're seeing this 10-year journey happening. By 2010, we started to see platformization, which we now started to see app dominating the thing. So platform orchestrate people's services and even businesses. So we started to see platforms stemming out. Can anybody just tell me some of the platforms that stemmed up in 2010? If you can just write it in the chat, some of the platforms that you know came around in 2010, 2011, 2012. I just want to see some of the chat. Let me just interact with you guys a little bit here because I'm talking too much. Any of the platforms that you know came in 2010? Come on now, we know them. 2010, tell me. 2010, let me see some in the chat now. Guys, are you with me? Or you guys are just fascinated by my talk? Facebook, thank you, Olamide. Yes, Facebook, number one, that just took over everybody. Anybody else? Platforms that came. So you know that platforms are not email, it's not Yahoo, it's not Google. Those ones are the digitalization of emails. It requires a different structure when you're talking about those. Well, platform. I need to see more now. Come on, guys. Some more in the chat, please. Let's see some more. Let's see some more. Is it only Olamide that's in this session? Come on now. BBM, Eskimi, To Go. Fantastic. BBM, will the BBM be a platform? I think that's literally a whole phone entirely, but okay, I'll take it on. Let's go. Judith just says, let's go. Don't know what Judith is going to. I'm asking a question and Judith is like, let's go. Okay, Judith, we're going. Pinterest, thank you, Gochi. That's another platform that came up in the year 2010 and so on and so forth. So let me not waste too much time there, but thank you guys for those that really gave me some of those suggestions here. And then we saw that in the 2020s, which we're in now, we started to see AI and datafication. So everything generates data. Everything we're doing generates data. You are using your Facebook, even the platforms you are using, the emails you are using, the documents that are being converted to digital, everything started to become data generating. Everything is coming together to get data. Even Facebook, we started to see that Facebook started to look into how they are collecting data and started to look for organizations that were shaping those type of things, like buying WhatsApp, buying Instagram, so that they can synchronize the way that they were doing data. So these data, AI turns into prediction and automation. And that's what we're seeing now in the 2020s, where we're seeing things predict for us. We're seeing ChatGPT talk to us. We're seeing automation happening with self-driving cars and so on and so forth. And as we move into 2030, we're beginning to see more automation system like self-driving cars. We're beginning to see supply chain changing with IoT. We're seeing farms being with predictive farming, payments operates predictively with minimal human impact. So payments are happening now without human making that happen. You can just do it with your phone, cryptocurrency, digital banking, all of that kind of stuff. What we need to understand here is that Africa is entering and it's a beautiful thing. I want to just share it with you guys that how beautiful this is. We are entering into this digital economy, this age at number 4. And number 4 and 5 is AI and datafication and autonomous system. That is where we as Africans started to enter into this digital economy. So there's something about that, and I'm going there with something. Now, what is the global state as we are today? Right now, AI is the new engine of productivity. You're seeing OpenAI, Anthropic, Google DeepMind, all of those things, they're becoming the engine, the economic engine of productivity. Cloud, 5G, these things are redefining how business are moving really fast. So if your business is not using 5G, you're not using payment system that is paying with digital payments, you are behind. What we're also seeing is things like digital identity. These things are shaping access to your finance. We're seeing credit system in Nigeria, where your NIN, BVN, that's why you can access loans now. See, we've gone very far. It's assessing health through your identification and even security. So your fingerprints can enter into your phone, your face can enter into your phone. So identity has become a thing with cybersecurity. We're also seeing green tech, which is merging with digital platforms. So things like solar is matching with phones now. You can see the data of how your phone is using your electricity, IoT, EV system, smart grid, all of these things. We're now seeing green mixing with digitalization. And then the final thing we're even seeing more now is digital payments are driving various economies. So big tech companies are even now more powerful than the governments. No joke. How many people can tell me companies that you know is more powerful than the government? If you can type them in the chat, I'll come back to that in a minute. How many tech companies do you know are more powerful than the government? I can name one already. Starlink, Elon Musk, such a company, more powerful than the government. Even the government has to bring them into the room to discuss. In Nigeria, we look at companies like Paystack, OPay. They're becoming more even prevalent than the banks. So because of them, they had to open places like SEC. Because of those type of organization, Security Exchange Commission had to be opened for those kind of things. So we're beginning to see these big changes. So the message here is that the world has become digital first, not digital friendly. We're not doing digital friendly. It's either you're using digital first or you forget about it. So remember, I'm taking you on a journey. So what is Africa's position? If we're starting at number 4 and number 5, what is Africa's position that makes us the people? Africa is behind. We are behind. For example, we didn't do digitization. We didn't do digitalization. We didn't do platformization. We didn't do any of this, because how many platforms do you know come from Africa? We didn't do all these three parts. So we're behind, but we're strategically positioned to do some great things. One is our strengths and our weaknesses, so which can make us leapfrog, because we don't have those legacy systems like those the Western world have. We can build a unique type of system. So I'll tell you some of our strengths. One of the strengths is we have the highest youth population in the world, which means that things can be absorbed very fast. And that's one thing about technology. People can adopt things faster. The other day I was driving down and I was looking at PiggyVest's billboard on Lekki Ekpe Road, and they would say built for discipline. And I thought to myself, imagine such a platform that allows young people to save money in a more disciplined way. I use PiggyVest, and if you use PiggyVest, you understand how it works. Sometimes you can lock your money and you cannot access it. And no matter what anybody tells you, you just cannot access the money. So it's shaping discipline, So now you're not trying to be disciplined by holding, you have a platform that can help you do that. So youth population gives that highest adoption rates. There's also strong mobile penetration in Africa. There's a large informal market that has massive unstructured data that can help. It's a huge opportunity. It's one of the opportunities I've been trying to find out, how do I solve this informal market to make, because over 60% of Africa's market, or 70 to 80% of our market in Africa is informal. We don't have any formal market. So one of the reasons why I said we didn't have any legacy system, right? There's also a growing financial fintech system. And then there's diaspora digital exposure. So many of our diasporans already are exposed to digital solutions. But what is the weakness that we have here is that we have weak data infrastructure. There's a poor data infrastructure. We don't have any sort of data really as an infrastructure that can help us. Or there's also weak broadband. For example, I could be talking here now, I'll lose you guys. I'll be looking for internet, I'll be changing internet services. I know many of you have suffered that same problem, changing internet services, looking for the next one to join. There's also trust deficit in our institution. So our institutions don't trust each other. They don't really trust each other. They're always looking forward to just building their own. And it has also filtered into us as young people. Everybody wants to build their own thing, their own career, their own system, their own structure, so that it will be them that they know. They don't want us to all work together so that we all shape it and be like, we all brought this out of our children. No, everybody wants to have individual institution. So there's a trust deficit. Husband is not trusting wife, wife is not trusting husband. If I give him all the institution is not, there's no trust in it, right? Low digital skill at scale. So we have the ability to shape something, but many of the people don't have digital skills. If I ask everybody here, do you want to do tech? Yes, I want to do tech. What skill do you have in tech? What skill do you have in tech? They'll be speaking English. Do you have data skills? Do you have design skills? Do you have digitalization skills? Do you have media skills? Do you have energy skills? Do you have education skills to educate people more on the tech? It's very hard to find people really tailoring that thought. And that is why we're here. And this is why you are here as ambassadors. We rely heavily on foreign platforms. One of the biggest weaknesses we have, we're always using foreign platforms. So even the data we even say we want to collect small, is already stored there. So Africa can leapfrog because we don't have a legacy system. But let's move on. So what is the future and where is the world going? I'll start with where the world is going. I'll come back to us and where we are trying to go here and how you as an ambassador can become those people. So where we're going is that we're going into a AI-led economy where productivity determines the algorithm, right? Data will become national assets. Digital identity will become, everybody must have one. You must have a digital identity. Green and digital must fuse into things like smart city, renewable grid, sustainable tech, digital trade and currency rails. So one of the beautiful things that I know that I'm very passionate about that I'm following through is the AFCTA driven cross-border commerce. So how do I trade with Ghana, with Kenya, and the rest of them? How do our currency integrate? It's something that many of us don't think about as young people, but it's some of the things that are going to be the most prevalent things in the coming future. The final part is how do we digitalize or digitize, not even just digitalization, now digitize the informal sector from their books to their, one of the things I was talking to my partner and a few friends of me that know me was how we were supposed to create a inventory system for SMEs using their phone. I keep thinking about all these interesting things that come into my brain, but I'm in the right space now for some of these things to be shaped. And in the coming years, this is why we're all here together to build some of these type of solutions that can help the informal sector. So the next 15 years will separate nations that adopt digital intelligence from those that just remain consumers, right? Those that just want to consume digital solution and not really trying to make that digital intelligence. And if you see how we did our final graduation session today, and we're going to take this on for all ambassadors as a metrics, is advocacy. You're advocating for things to become digital, but then are you engaging with the right solution to build those solutions that can now create digital intelligence, right? Because in the next 15 years, what will separate nations will be nations that adopt that digital intelligence from those that remain, okay, I just want to be consumer. Okay, I will advocate by just posting on social media. So you're just using Instagram. But as you're using Instagram, you're not creating any digital intelligence on that Instagram. You're just posting it. I'll use LinkedIn and I'll just be sharing things. You're remaining a consumer. You're consuming the LinkedIn. Before you know it, you're paying membership to become LinkedIn Premium. And you're having LinkedIn Premium. You're posting. You're still a consumer. You have not created any sort of digital intelligence. And this is where the world is going. These things I've mentioned here are where the world is going. You have to be shaping that story. That when I look on your LinkedIn, I can see that you're not just using it as a consumer, but you are creating a digital intelligence that if I come and try to find out your identity, it shapes that story of who you are, which is like a digital identity system. It shapes data as a national asset. So you are from Nigeria, you're posting this thing, it's now leading the way what is being collected from Nigeria. Anyway, I'm going too deep. Don't take me down that path. Let's just come back to where we are. So this is why in Tech for Good Africa, we have a framework, right? There is a framework for how these things should go, right? We need to expand what we do in technology in this digital economy. The E equals MD framework, as you all as ambassador already know, is E equals MDQ. And the reason why this guy is horrible. He's seeing me doing this and he's deciding to make this noise. I feel like I should go and fight him. But it's not digital, that's why. The point of it is, how do we create narratives that produce intelligence that helps experience scale, right? So even you as a person, as an ambassador today, as you become an ambassador, your energy should be that your narrative on your media should create intelligence that helps people to experience scale. So if you take media is the narrative that drives public understanding and adoption. Data is the insights that power the decisions and the innovations that people should do. And design is that users that are experiencing this thing would have an experience that shape how they engage. So if you're advocating for something, how are they engaging? And then the digital platforms will be the ones plus infrastructure, scale your ideas. So the platforms you're using, all of it, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of it is now plus the infrastructure that is behind it scales the idea. But I'm going here with something because As ambassadors, I want you guys to understand that we at Tech for Good Africa, even with ECHO and even ATLA, we're shaping a story, a legacy, because Africa does not have a legacy. So let me give some example. Take, for example, a digital agricultural platform. It can only succeed if the farmers trust the message of that platform. So the narrative of what this platform is doing. Who remembers those platforms that we used to see back in the days? Invest this money, get this in this time. That narrative was beautiful. I'm sure many of us lost our money on it. Yeah. I don't even see any of those platforms anymore. If you know any of those platforms, please post it. I want to see it. It's gone because the narrative was not clear. It was not a trust. The narrative was not good for farmers. It was good for people that have money. And that's how we Nigerians, we always want to shape solutions. We in Africa want to shape solutions from just collecting the money instead of shaping it from the people that are going to use this platform. As I mentioned, it's creating a thing of intelligence, of digital intelligence, not a thing of just consumer. Let's just create something that people just consume. But why don't we create something that is more intelligent? Because that intelligence will become the oil that we can sell. We have not shaped that kind of thing. So going back to my example, a digital agricultural platform creates a message that farmers can trust. Then it then puts data that is available on weather and soil so that farmers can use that. And then from that, the user interface is simple for low literacy users. So farmers can be able to understand their soil and their weather easily. And through the message that this platform has put out, and then it can work on a phone or even a place that has no reliable internet. Now, when you shape something like this now, do you know that that platform can now be integrated into a consumer one where people can now pay to say, if farmers have trust data, they trust this platform to be able to put in their weather and their soil, or they're able to see weather and soil, and they're now able to do some sort of farming, agricultural system on it. It will help me to know where I will get my good food from, what kind of prices the food is. It fosters a bigger thing in agriculture for the Ministry of Agriculture, for every agricultural thing. So you see now, it's about what is a digital agricultural platform in full range. So as an ambassador, when you're looking at any sector, this is what we want you to do, to be able to say, what is the narrative of this media, of this thing? And I'm sure during the media session, you heard a lot of things. The things that were said about is not, don't be, I know I meant here, don't be a user, don't be a user of the media. There was so much. I can't remember all of it in the top of my head now. When we spoke about data, we spoke about the new type of data. How do you shape data? We spoke about design. Design also, we heard the users talk about the experience in a unique way for good. We talked about scaling now. Are we scaling it for good? Does it work for our people? Does it work on phones because we have phones for everybody now? Or is it that you're still trying to get people to use computers? These are some of the things that the E equals MD framework, as you as ambassador, must hold on dearly. That look, I use the E equals MD framework because I'm putting a narrative to shape intelligence that help people to experience how they scale. Okay. Now, coming to why you must have this framework, we must build in Africa a new economy. Understanding the 3 layers of ECHO is very important for you as an ambassador. You must understand that we as ECHO, we want to understand infrastructure, sustainability, climate, energy, transport in our environment, and then understand how that fosters into culture, into how people behave, into how we measure our population, into how we educate our population, and even into the way that we foster our informal markets to help governments, private sectors, institutions, policies, and markets do things better. So as ambassador, you must report echo signals that affect our digital transformation. You already know it. So if you see signals around the media that is not correct, you want to report that this thing is not correct. If you see things that are around the echo of our design, the echo of our data, the echo of our media, of our digitalization, you want to report them. For example, you see something in the community, low digital literacy, you should be sharing it on the echo. There's low digital literacy here. They don't know anything about digitalization. How can we shape that? You're looking at the environment. You're going through a place, there's no network. Report, there's no network here, right? You see organizations, you're saying, There's no partnership between the government here. You should be reporting those things. And thank God Ubio is here at our final graduation. His company, my company, we're going to be working to make sure that the Echo platform is more efficient, more structured for you to be able to use it to even report these things this way more easily, maybe on an app, with what we've built so far. What can you do? How can you report this thing? How can you, as ambassadors, your goal is to make sure that this digital economy we're trying to build, you can report that signal that would affect the way we transform our digital space, the way we transform our digital economy. Because as you are reporting it, remember I told you, we're trying to do it from a different angle. As you're reporting those things, it shapes an API. It shapes a way that we integrate things into other platforms, into government platforms, into organization platform, into even other digital platforms to shape our own type of legacy on platforms. So ambassadors, you are not just volunteers. We didn't bring you here to come and be volunteering on different things alone. Definitely, yes, we want you to volunteer because we're also trying to raise money. Everything must be funded by money. As my brother Ubio will tell me, you tell me, Sam, we should find the funding so that we can fund this thing and do it. And you tell me, Sam, we can raise that funding. I know we can do it. You are not just a volunteer. You are the ecosystem mobilizers as ambassadors. You are the digital evangelists, the one that teach, the ones that explain, the one that simplifies this feature the way that we've just shown you. You're the ones that data scout. You scout for those data. You are observing because of what we've shown you now. You are able to observe. You're able to collect. You're able to report community insights more effectively. You are the innovation connectors. You are identifying the local innovations and linking them to the resources that is needed here at Tech for Good Africa to other ones. You are community mobilizers. You are the one activating youth wherever you are, saying, are you part of Tech for Good Africa? Do you know this formula for how you should do things? Women, you're mobilizing local groups. You are the echo contributors. You are the one feeding the echo platforms with real signals that can help us to shape the echo of our continent. So what must Africa build? I've told you about the digital economy, the journey of it. I've told you about you as an ambassador and what we gave you here as ambassadors. But as Africa, we must build this digital future of local data centers to help keep our value on the continent, a digital identity system to unlock access to services. We must build AI governance to protect our citizens. We must build civic tech to empower and strengthen our democracy. We must build digital skills to prepare the workforce for the digital economy. And we must build green infrastructure to power the digital world sustainably. These systems will define the new GDP of Africa, where productivity, innovation, and intelligence becomes the core of our economy. So you are the architects of Africa's new economy. You are the leaders who shape how communities adopt technology. You are the generations that will turn Africa from consumers to creators. So I'm telling you, as ambassadors, you are not just joining a role. This is a responsibility. I've never been the one to want to give people role because I was listening to Elon Musk yesterday, and he was saying jobs are going to become like jobs will be options in the coming future. Jobs will not, it will be as if you choose to have a job or not, because robots will be probably doing the same job and you still be getting that same money from your robots. So it will be an option for you if you want to work or not. So, but we need to take it on now as responsibility. This is not a role to you, this is a responsibility. To lead boldly, to lead intelligently, and to lead with impact. So I want to end with this. Africa is waiting for your contribution. So look forward for our email. Join the Echo platform, share information, put data out there. Tell us more, even how to shape more of E equals MD cube, how to shape more on Echo. And I look forward to seeing you more in the community as we shape the PALS network and Tech for Good Africa. Congratulations again, each and every one of you as ambassadors. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I can see that Olamide has disappeared from the call. So, okay, she's back now. All right, Olamide, do you want to take over from here? Or should I be the person to close us off today as we celebrate our new ambassadors?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. To which parts?
Yes, sir. To you inducting us or knighting the ambassadors, I would say.
Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Please just give me 1 second. Okay, so I did draft out a pledge today. I learned this. I know in churches we always do a statement, and I remember when Olamide used to run Tech for Good Africa, we used to say a thing in Tech for Good Africa. But I thought that today, each and every one of you guys can say the Tech for Good Africa Ambassador Pledge. I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'm hoping that we can all say it together. Wait a second. Don't worry, Ugochi, I'm here. I'm just I'm putting up the pledge. But I couldn't put the whole thing because the chat only allows 8,000. So I'm having to cut them into two pieces. So I'm just putting the final part of it now. I will start up the pledge all together. And you get this pledge as well in your email as you join in with your badge as well. It would be on your badge certification as well, to be able to carry it anywhere and be able to say it. Post it on your social media as well, as we stand together as Tech for Good Africa. Okay. Olamide, do you want to lead us on this pledge taking or?
Yes.
While I finish this. Okay, please go ahead. And if everyone can put on their videos as well, we'll be taking a picture just right after I will call today a close. Okay,
Thanks.
Olamide, you can
Bye.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So we can just kindly unmute and we will go right into it. So I would say it and then would say it after me. I stand today
Stand today
Tech for Good Africa ambassador,
as Tech
as
for
a
Good
Tech for Good
Ambassador,
Africa ambassador,
fully aware
fully aware
fully aware
that my voice, my skills, and my actions
that
that my voice, my skills, and my actions
carry the responsibility of shaping
carry the responsibility of shaping
shaping
Africa's digital future.
Africa's digital future.
I pledge to champion technology for good, for social good,
I
I
pledge
pledge to champion
champion
technology for social
technology for
good,
good,
to promote innovation that uplifts communities,
to
to
promote
promote innovations
innovations
that
that uplift
uplift communities,
communities,
and to uphold integrity, accountability, and impact in all I do.
and to uphold
responsibility,
integrity, accountability, and
in all I
impact
do.
in all I do.
I commit to learning continuously,
I commit to learning continuously,
to sharing knowledge boldly,
to
sharing
sharing knowledge boldly,
and to empowering others with the opportunities of the digital economy.
and to empower others with the opportunities of the digital economy.
I will identify problems,
I will identify problems,
amplify solutions,
amplify solutions,
and contribute verified insights to strengthen the Echo platform.
and to
and
contribute
verified insights to strengthen the Echo platform
For the progress of my environment, my community, and my nation.
for the progress of my environment, my community, and my nation.
I pledge to be a bridge
I pledge to be a bridge
connecting people to information,
connecting people to information,
innovation, and possibility.
innovation, and possibility.
I will act with courage,
I will act with courage,
lead with purpose,
lead with purpose,
and use my talent, time, and technology
and use my talent, time, and technology
to build a better, smarter, and more inclusive Africa.
to
build a better, smarter, and more inclusive Africa.
As a Tech for Good Africa ambassador,
as a Tech for
As
Good
a Tech for Good Africa ambassador,
I accept this mandate.
I accept this mandate.
I embrace this responsibility.
I
I
embrace
embrace this responsibility,
And I commit to being a force
and I commit to being a force
for sustainable change.
for
for sustainable change.
So help me God.
So
help
me God.
Congratulations, ambassadors. You are now welcome to the exclusive, inclusive, all of fame, all of impact, and a call to hire with Tech for Good Africa.
My God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Olamide. I told you need to look into being a compare. I don't know what it is. Maybe you're using us to practice this, your compare skills. I love it though. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Again, congratulations, each and every one of you guys. Exciting times coming forward into the future. This pledge, I want you to take it on, hold it closer to your heart. It would be with your badge and it would be right next to your badge. And you can always just say it to yourself, you can put it out there and let everybody know this pledge that you've taken on today, and make sure that you go back and just read through it again and just sink it in about what it stands for you to be a Tech for Good Africa ambassador. Okay, final thing we'll do today is if you can put on your videos, we're going to take a picture and then we'll close today's session, graduation session. I can see you, Judith. Hey. I see you, Olamide. Yes, Ugochi, you will get again, I told you to be on your badge as well, so you can see that. So can we put on our videos so we can just take a photo? I can see some people jumped out of the call before we could even take our pledge. I'm sure maybe they had internet issues. Michael, are you there? Prime, Aramide, are you somewhere where you can take a photo? Okay. Michael looks like he's in a Keke Napep. Aramide, I can see you with the headphones, doing it big. Lovely. This is the first time I'm seeing Aramide on a video. I've never seen Aramide on video in my entire life. Something is happening. As she took that pledge, her life changed instantly. She took the pledge. She was like, now I'm on video. I'm living digitally. Thank you, Aramide. Ubio and Ferdinand, you can also join us. That's also welcome if you're there, so that the pictures will be completed. Right. And I'll tell everyone to say cheese. Ubio, Ferdinand, can you join us? Is that okay? Freddie, Ubio. Thanks, Ubio. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Looking sharp as always. My brother from the Lord. Freddie, are you there? Okay, it looks like Freddie is going to take care of his dog. Only me and him have a dog on this call. All right, I'm just going to take a picture here. Okay, let's give us a smile, thumbs up, whatever sign you want to do. It's totally up to you. Freddie, if you can put on your video, we're trying to take a picture. That'll be really cool. Okay. Awesome, guys, I got the video. Thank you so much. I love the smiles. I love everybody just following me and doing the thumbs up as well. Love it. I'm inspiring people. Olamide, we'll finish the photo. I finished the photo, sorry. Photo has finished. You are coming late. Photo has finished, but I've captured everybody finish. Yeah. Photo has finished. Capture has captured. But we embrace your own too as well. Right? Let me go and look at the photo, how you were doing. Let's see. Where's the photo? Oh, there we go. Okay. You're looking pretty as ever. Stay fresh. You just did not do the sign with all of us. That's why next time, sharply follow the leader. Quick. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Expect emails from us, and thank you all for just joining this final session. I really enjoyed time with all of you guys, and more things to come from us. Judith Ugochi, our number one in short, biggest advocate, biggest engagement, all from Ugochi. Ugochi, you are going to get a special shout out from Tech for Good Africa on our page. You have been a great engagement. Not only are you just a great engagement, you started your own organization just being part of Tech for Good Africa. I'm so proud of you. Well done, everybody.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless you all. See you. See you. Bye, everyone. Bye, 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 everyone.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.